Hello, hello. I know I've been posting a lot about fascism, but I am also fundamentally a transgender woman, and this is a trans woman's channel. And so let's talk about facial feminization surgery, commonly known as FFS. A friend of mine sent me this message. Hi, just a little question. Did you know the whole time you were going to get FFS as part of your transition? I've been waiting to see what the HRT does first, but I was wondering how much time, if any, it took you to decide on that direction. So to answer your question right off the bat, no, I did not know that I wanted FFS, facial feminization surgery, when I started HRT. Because when I started HRT, I didn't know FFS existed. I had no idea that was a thing. I didn't know any trans people when I started transitioning. I only knew like the people I saw on YouTube, which was only ContraPoints because I am at heart a philosophy nerd. And so I learned about that later, and I was very excited to hear about it. I learned about it from my doctor, actually, my primary care doctor, who was a member of the Gender Health Clinic at UCLA. And then she asked me if that was something I'd be interested in being referred for. And I said, I don't know what that is. And so she told me about it, and I was interested. Now, what is FFS? I know a lot of my cis audience, or maybe my questioning audience, might be wondering. And it's not actually one specific surgery. It refers to a family of modifications that a surgeon can make to your skull or face to make it read more traditionally feminine. Of course, skulls come in all kinds of shapes and sizes. Even cis women's skulls have a huge range from what they can look like, what is normal for a woman's skull, right? However, FFS tends to cover a series of operations that specifically like counteract the kinds of things that testosterone does to a skull during puberty. If you're going through puberty with, mostly testosterone powered system, that's going to have some fairly consistent results on your skull. Big ones are like brow ridge becomes more prominent. It'll do some stuff to your nose. It might fuck with your jawline a bit. FFS is something that can address any or all of these, depending on what you and your surgeon decide you want to do. And everyone has different priorities. For me, I didn't really care much about my jaw, but I cared a lot about my brow ridge. That was something that, like, looking in photos or in the mirror, I could not stand. It made it impossible for me to enjoy photos of myself. I couldn't look in the mirror and enjoy how I looked. And when I found out that was something I could change, I was very happy to do that. So most surgeons will have you wait at least 12 months on HRT before they'll actually do the surgery. I got mine basically on after I'd been on HRT for 14 months. But so there's some changes that HRT makes to your face that have to do with fat redistribution. It can change HRT won't change your actual bone structure unless you are still in puberty. If you're a teenager and you are either on puberty blockers or on estrogen, that will change how your bones grow. And a lot of stuff gets locked in puberty that is then very hard or dramatic to undo, which is why trans people are big advocates of teenagers having access to that kind of care. So you don't have to go have a surgeon peel your face off, cut out a piece of your skull, and take it to a bench grinder later in life, which is what they did to me. What HRT can do is it can redistribute fat around your face. It can soften your whole look pretty dramatically. It can make your cheeks more poppy. It can soften your eyes. Like, a lot of trans women never get FFS, either because they don't need it or more often because it's extremely expensive. And if your insurance doesn't cover it, well, then you're fucked. Because trans people are poor, generally. Like, obviously, rich people can get whatever they want, even rich trans people. But my insurance covered my FFS, which was fantastic. So how to decide if you want FFS? Basically, are there things that you are unhappy with about your face and you think you would be happier if they were a different way, and your surgeon that you meet with says, yeah, we can make them that different way. I agree. I think that would make you happier. And then that's that. And of course, there's all the other factors, like, will your insurance cover it, or do you have the funds to cover it? It's a pretty dramatic surgery, so you'll have to take some time off work. Like, there's all the normal surgery questions of, can I afford in my life right now to do a surgery? But as far as is it something you want or not? That's something only you can know. I can say I'm very happy that I got FFS. It's made me feel significantly better about myself, about my face. And then the other benefits have to do with like passing better, which makes you feel, it's not that passing is important in and of itself, but for example, if you are going in a small town airport, like I was just in a small town airport yesterday, the more you feel like you can pass, the more safe that allows you to feel in a place you might otherwise feel in danger. And I know trans people listening to that already understand this, but that's to cis people. Like, the point for a lot of us in wanting to pass is got a lot of dimensions to it, but a big one is just the ability to like literally feel safe around cis people, because the more obviously trans one is, and the less one is able to like go through the world and not be recognizably trans, potentially the more in danger you might feel or might actually be. So that's one reason when people get it. And the other is classical dysphoria. If it makes you feel bad to see yourself in the mirror, that's awful. We hate that. We don't want that. So like, what does FFS do? I know you want to see pictures. All right. So here I'm going to show some before and after pictures. I'll show a little timeline. So here's before, and ready? After. Perfect. You saw those. And now here's a cool thing that my surgeon took the day of, which has the profile going into surgery and the profile coming out of surgery. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Sick as hell. Yeah. Did you like that shit? That was cool. I liked that shit. And for an added little bonus, this is a life-size, medical grade, medically accurate 3D print of my skull that my surgeon used to practice for my surgery. Now, this is actually not either the skull I had going into surgery or the skull I had after. This is the digitally modified projection of what my surgeon was trying to get my skull to look like. So she could bring it, she could practice on it, and then had it with her in the OR to hold up pieces of my skull against to make sure she was shaping them the way that she wanted to. And let's see if I can get this to read. I'm going to have to change focus here. Oh, yeah. Did you see that? Did you see how my skull is perfected? Medically perfected. A surgeon has put her stamp of approval on my skull. It is perfect. Nothing you can do will change my mind. So, my friend, anyone else who's wondering, I hope that helps. I know it's probably nothing new, but bottom line, you don't have to have known going in. It's never too late to choose you want to do it if it's something you want to do. Talk to your doctors and surgeons. You can do a consultation with a lot of surgeons. Well, I'm not going to say for free, it's the American medical system, but a consult is not a commitment. So there's no harm in going and getting a consultation and having a surgeon tell you what's possible, show you what's possible, tell you if they think that that's something they could help you out with. And if you're a cis person, yeah, I know. Isn't being trans cool? You didn't know about this shit, did you? You thought the only operations we got were to get new vaginas and to get tits. And here's the thing. We don't need surgery to get tits. Well, some of us do, but a lot of us don't. I didn't have breast augmentation. These are natural, baby. I'm going to keep pointing that out because I'm proud. A lot of people who do get any surgeries will get FFS first. I mean, your face is your face. It's like how you interact and interface with the world, right? So FFS is often the most important thing to a lot of trans people. And yeah, now you know. So what does that mean? What does all this mean for trannery? You know, what does it mean that being trans, dysphoria, all of that stuff, what does that mean? I don't know. Now, I know a lot of cis people might have this reaction of like, well, okay, but is that medically necessary? Does that really count as something medically necessary if it just makes you like feel better about the way you look? Like, I'm a cis woman and there's things I wish were different about my face. Should that be covered by insurance? And here's what I'm going to say. I'm very happy I got it. And if you think a facial surgery would make you feel better, then I think, yeah, that should be covered too. I think medicine shouldn't just be about fixing things that are broken. We have the technology to change so much about ourselves. We have the technology, we have the resources, we have the surgeons, we have the money as a society. Don't you want to live in a place where people can make choices based on what they want for themselves, instead of having to be driven by suffering? Can't you be driven by the pursuit of joy and change and experimentation and fun, and not just having to cry and moan and spin a tragic yarn to convince the sisses who control the purse strings to let you do something? I don't know. I just think it would be better if humans lived in a world that was mostly fueled by imagination and happiness, and not by greed and suffering. Damn it. Now I got myself talking about fascism again. I'm thinking about it. You can hear it. I know. I hadn't technically said it, but you can hear it. I'm talking about capitalism and fascism and societies driven by fear. And I'm not supposed to be talking about that. And this is a trans advice video, which is entirely separate from all that stuff, right? Woo! Everything is cool. Everything is great. We love the world we inhabit, don't we, folks? Anyway, I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. Stay strong. Stay you. Keep blooming. Whether you're trans or you're cis or you're anything else. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you assume there were only two options? Get those binaries out of your freaking head. Whether you're trans or cis or something else, then I hope that you are able to live out your joy, whatever that is. Go chase it down. Grab life by the delicate little stem and take a big old sniff of that rose, because that's what we're here for. I mean, figuratively speaking, I don't believe we're here for anything. I'm a nihilist, but shouldn't that be what we're here for? If we're here for anything, are we here to go smell roses in the fields, or are we here to make sure that we get that Q3 profit deliverable deck thing on your boss's desk by the end of the week? Anyway, I love you, but not in a parasocial way. I love you in a general way, in the way that I love all of humanity. I don't know you specifically, unless I do, in which case I may or may not love you specifically. I don't know who you are. Bye.